Toronto residents left the city at a record pace in 2022. And in this video, we're going to dive into why they left and where they actually went. Toronto saw over 78,000 people leave for other parts of Ontario and roughly over 21,000 people leave for other provinces in Canada. Toronto's population actually did grow in 2022, but all of that growth was fueled by international migration, which consists of new Canadians getting their permanent residence and foreign students. Many economists are tying the mass exodus to worsening home affordability as well as the rise of remote work. As prices have gotten more expensive, even in the suburbs, this has forced buyers to look even further and further away from the city and ultimately even looking at other provinces. Even Alberta started to do a campaign on Toronto subways with the title "Alberta is calling" for more affordable housing and to try and recruit people to come over to their province and live and work there. Even in my area, which is Oakville, Burlington, and into Hamilton, we are seeing an influx of Toronto agents bringing their buyers from Toronto for more affordable housing just west of the city. I myself have helped many young people move from a condo in Toronto to areas like Dundas into a detached house or a townhouse because they really want to start families, and those condos just aren't doing it anymore, and everything else they're priced out of. As we've seen more and more people enter our market in Oakville, Burlington, and into Hamilton, it's actually increased those prices so much that even some buyers are looking even further west into Brantford and Paris, Ontario, just because they're looking for affordable housing. Atlantic Canada is also experiencing a boom in population, with Moncton growing 5.4% and Halifax growing 4.5%. Calgary also saw its fastest pace of population growth since the early 2000s, adding over 50,000 people and growing 3.2%. A local realtor in Halifax actually said that 30% of her business last year came from out-of-province buyers. She went on to say that even after the boom that Halifax has seen over the last couple of years in pricing, it's still relatively low compared to the rest of Canada. She's also seeing many Toronto buyers sell their home in the city, come to Halifax, and buy their properties all in cash. Many economists see this as a disturbing trend, as it'll hollow out the middle class in Toronto, and this will create labor shortages in critical jobs like nursing and teaching as they flee to other parts of Ontario and even other provinces for more affordable housing. There's also been a spike in children leaving the city, which really just tells us that young families are leaving, looking for more opportunity elsewhere for a property. Mike Moffat described Toronto as you basically have two extremes, where fairly wealthy and older households can make it work, then you have young students and people starting their careers who are sharing apartments. I think one of the biggest issues with Toronto is that they are building, but what they're building is not made for families, it's made for investors. Many builders market to investors to rent out these units and then gain from the appreciation, which has really worked over time. The trend that we've seen over time is builders are making these units smaller and smaller to maximize profits, and this floor plan shown here had Twitter in outrage, as most of these units are 500 square feet or less, and a good percentage of that square footage is just a hallway. I do wonder that if Toronto residents are starting to see the writing on the wall that housing has become so unaffordable, that immigrants will start to see the same writing, and they will actually decide to go to other cities such as Calgary, Moncton, or even Halifax, and they will start their lives there in Canada due to that housing just being so much more affordable. Immigrants usually don't have any sentimental ties to a certain place as they're exploring a new country versus some Canadians who have been here for a long, long time who have sentiments such as their local gym, their friends, their family, and even then people are still leaving the city. There's no doubt that I do think Toronto is one of the best cities in Canada. There is a ton of opportunity there, but I do wonder if this affordability crisis in housing will force more people to leave Toronto, and that we'll actually see this trend worsen over time. Anyways, these are just my thoughts about the mass exodus that we're seeing from residents of Toronto. If you found value in this video, please consider liking and subscribing down below. I'd also love to hear from you. What do you think about these numbers and what we're seeing with the population of Toronto? My name is Cortez Ranieri. I'm a sales representative for the Rocca Sisters Team. If you're thinking of moving in Oakville, Burlington, or Hamilton, you can book a call with me down below, or if you just want to have a chat about real estate, you can do that as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon.